point on, they only promoted their cinema activities like on paper and like by word of mouth. And then also Lackby was evicted, or they had to leave because the house was being sold and being torn down. And this was around the time 2009, when in Copenhagen there was a COP15, which is a big climate summit that happened, and the Barris, or the candy factory, became a site for a lot of international global climate activists who came and visited. And the city, not being able to, handle the wave of like anti-globalization people who were coming, then asked some of the people at Barris if they would, in some way or another, administer a former factory building, also maybe like a kilometer away from this building, to house some of these activists. And since then, they've existed at Braunhagel, where together with other collectives from the city, they don't pay rent, but they do adhere to legal restrictions in terms of having, for example, fire exits, or not having not exceeding like a certain number of people in the concert halls when you have big concerts. One of the cool things that has been able to evolve due to this new location is that you can have really, really awesome dubstep concerts, really loud bass music, because it's farther away and it's not in this kind of more residential area. And you have all kinds of activities. Again, also, it's kind of like they took all the workshops that had been established already in the first candy factory, then the second one, and now they've set them up again at the third one. And since then, in Copenhagen, like I said, it's a small country, but it's also a small city. We also had an Occupy movement, which was supported or kind of made possible by these activities at Barris. For any of you that are into electronic music, Copenhagen is swamped by Distortion every year in June, which is kind of like started from street fest, pirate parties, people just going on Christiania bikes and having a sound system and having kind of free parties. But it's become increasingly commercialized and kind of restrictive over the years. So what does the candy factory do? They organize at Distortion, kind of a subversive alternative to the Distortion. They then got a lawsuit because they actually used their logo. But it's kind of an interesting tale how something that started as a street party then ends up suing an alternative project, which is just trying to like create a more underground, actually, alternative to the already alternative street party. And then kind of the final poster, and this is sticking to itself because it did not want to stick on the wall, is this. And this is for anyone that claims that the squatter movement or the Besetz movement has actually completely died in Copenhagen, which is not necessarily true. There was in fact a squatting in 2011, but they are really ephemeral. I mean, they're really short term. Usually there are pirate parties where a building gets squatted with like 500 people, but not for more than like one day. And then there's huge sound systems, people come and they get evicted right away. And the case that was with Subin, though, which is kind of an old military barrack outside of Christiania, it was squatted in the same way, pirate party, activating in a subversive way these kind of underground networks, but they were not actually evicted, and they were just in kind of a cooperative way with the police told to leave. So yeah, that's what happened there. If you have any other questions, I'm very happy to talk to you, or you can look at the things. One other thing I wanted to show you all, because Alan said I have to hurry up, is this. I brought these books from the candy factory. They are handmade, screen printed books made by the Screen Printing Collective. They're really beautiful images. The kids there are not very good at selling themselves. So if you want to leave a donation or buy any of them, they would love to have your support. And otherwise, you can also just take a look at them. So yeah, thank you.